Hey guys, what's up? Bailey here with another video, and I'm finally doing my first end of the year list. Hold on for a second. Yeah. So yeah, I'm doing my first end of the year list, and today I'm doing my top 10 non-metal albums of 2016. Or should I say top 10 best non-metal albums of 2016. Now, in 2016, I definitely expanded my horizons a lot more. Be a lot more. I explored a lot more music outside of metal. I'm not saying that like before this year, all I had listened to was just metal. Like I wasn't one. I wasn't one of those people that were just like, oh, all I listen to is to fucking metal. No, I definitely listened to other types of music, but this year I definitely um, expanded a lot more with that and opened my mind a lot more. So yeah. There will be links to every single album, or at least something from every single album in the description down below, and of course it will be by whatever number they are. So like the link for number 10 will be by number 10, and then number 1 will be by number 1, you know the rest. And then of course later this week I'll be doing my top metal albums of the year, which will either be a top 25 or top 30. Oh, and also one last thing guys, before I do the list, keep in mind this is just my opinion. I'm not saying that I'm right and that my list is like fact. I'm just saying, in my opinion, these were the best non-metal albums that I heard this year. So, with that being said, let's get into the list. So, yeah. Starting off at number 10 is Explosions in the Sky with their album, The Wilderness. Now, the only reason this album is at number 10 is because for some reason, I did not listen to this album nowhere near as much as I should have. Especially since I'm definitely getting way more into post-rock. Like, I love post-rock now. Just, post-rock is an amazing genre. But yeah, Explosion in the Sky, if you listen to post-rock, you know who these guys are. So, yeah, they're a post-rock band from Texas. And they're pretty much the most well-known band in the genre. And yeah, now this album, while it got like great reviews by critics, it did get a little mixed reviews or like mixed reception by fans. But I thought it was a pretty decent album. I just wish I came back to it a lot more than I did this year, because if I did, it probably would have been a little bit higher. But that's a number 10. Number 9 is the band Anesthesia with their album An Infinite Winter, Volume 3, Neptune. This is I want to say like an instrumental, experimental rock / ambient post-rock band. Like, there's a lot of stuff in there. Like I said, like, yeah, there's ambience in there, and it's like post-rock, but it's a bit experimental at times. At first I thought this album was like an EP, because the album's 22 minutes, and that's actually my only gripe with it. It's only 22 minutes, but I never found anything of it about being an EP, so I guess it's a full length. Yeah. But, yeah, this is just some very relaxing, smooth, beautiful sounding instrumental rock music that definitely needs a lot more attention. Like, I've literally never heard anyone mention this band's name or anything. I think they're like barely even known. So hopefully this will give them a lot more attention. And yeah, I thought it was a pretty damn good album. Again, my only gripe with it is that it was way too short. So that's Anesthesia. Number 8 is The Descendants with their album Hypercapnium Spasmate. Yeah, The Descendants, they're a punk rock band that, excuse me. Sorry guys, I just had dinner. Yeah, they're a punk rock band that have been around for a long time, even though they've split up like at least 3 times, but yeah. And this is their first album, I think in almost 10 years, about 10 years. Or yeah, I think like over 10 years. And yeah, and I'm actually gonna be honest. This is the first time I've ever listened to them. I've heard about them before, but I never listened to them until this album, and I definitely need to check out more of their stuff. And I heard they're actually like a very influential band in like the punk rock genre and just like, stuff like that. And yeah, I just thought this album was pretty good. It's a lot of the songs are catchy and just very fun to listen to and sing along to. So yeah, that's the Descendants. Number 7, Modern Synthesis by Area 11. If you guys don't know who these guys are, they're like a alternative rock slash, I guess, pop punk type of band from, I believe, England. And this is only their second album. And yeah, this kind of caught me by surprise. I'd never heard about these guys until earlier this year. And then I listened to this album and I thought it was pretty damn good. Yeah, I just like the very nice, like, mellow, kind of chill out vibe that they have sometimes on a couple of the songs, especially when they're doing like this, more like really slow type singing vocals, I guess. I don't know, but yeah. And I just thought it was a pretty nice sounding, fun to listen to, like alt rock, pop punk. So yeah, that's number 7. Number 6 is the Lumineers with their new album Cleopatra. Oh, by the way, guys, and both my end of the year lists, the only albums I'm gonna be showing in my video are, of course, are the albums that I do have physical copies of. So yeah. But yeah, the Lumineers with their new album Cleopatra. What can I say? This is just some nice, catchy, like nice to sing along to, like folk rock. Yeah, and I do like it. I do like the Lumineers. I like them for quite a bit. So yeah, and I would love to get this on vinyl, not only because I like the album, but also there's a certain vinyl, like a certain color on this. I mean, for this album that comes on vinyl, and it looks really cool. It's like it's like gray and white swirled all together. Like, it looks really cool. But yeah, so that's Lumineers. Now the top 5. Number 5 is Dissonance by Hands Like Houses. This is like kind of like almost like just a regular alternative rock band, kind of. That yeah, again, it's another band I've heard of before, but I hadn't listened to until like this year, and yeah, I think they're pretty damn good. I just really like listening to this album. Like, if I just want to listen to kind of like straightforward, nice sounding like alt rock music, I'll listen to these guys, and I do like this album, and I just thought it was pretty damn good. Okay. Number 4. This is where we're getting into the big ones for my favorite non-metal albums. Number 4. False Readings On by Illuvium. Ah, man, I wish I gave this album more time. I wish I gave it more listens. Because if I gave this album more listens, this might possibly be number 1. But regardless, this is a fantastic, beautiful, nice, chill, like, ambient album. Like, Illuvium, it's a one-man ambient project from a guy named Matthew. And my god, this album, like, if you literally want something to just chill out to and just relax to, check out anything by Illuvium. He even adds in like a lot of piano into his music, so yeah, which I think is a nice touch. And like I said, this album's just, it's gorgeous, it's really chill, and it's really calm, and if you just want something to chill out to, listen to this, and shit, this will like take your mind to like another fucking dimension if you really let it. So yeah, can't stretch it enough. Go listen to this album. And now my top 3. Number 3, I have to give a big thanks to Wyatt XM for introducing me to these guys. He showed them off in one of his videos one time, and he's talked about them a lot since then. But the first time I saw him talk about them in one of his videos, I checked them out, and wow. I really liked it. And this is a genre I definitely need to explore a lot more, and I have been lately. This is the Splendor and Misery by the experimental hip-hop group Clipping. Wow. Like, I literally have just pretty much gotten my feet wet into experimental hip-hop, but from what I've heard so far from the genre, damn. And what I really love about Clipping, like, one thing I do like about them, instead of like their beats and everything in the background, it doesn't sound like it was made on like a computer really or anything, or how should I say? It doesn't sound like all, I don't know, but you know what I mean. It doesn't sound like a typical cliche rap beat. It literally sounds like it's kind of like a bunch of industrial noises and industrial beats. And this is even kind of considered like noise experimental hip-hop, which this is the first time I had ever heard of noise being mixed in with hip-hop, and damn, like, I'm really glad why I talked about these guys, because I have found a new favorite of mine for when it comes to hip-hop. And also their second album that's called Clipping, but without the I. Oh my god. It's just as great, honestly. I think I like that one better, but this is still a great album. Yeah, it's just catchy. Like I said, I love the sound of like the industrial, noisy type beats. And yeah, and this is also a concept album. Like the story, it's a really great story. It does get a bit confusing, especially if you don't really pay attention to the album. Because honestly, this is an album you really have to listen to in full from start to finish. Like, don't skip over tracks or just listen to a certain track and then go to another one. You really have to listen to this from the first track straight to the last, I think, to really get the full grasp of the story. So yeah, and really like this album. Check it out if you haven't. Number 2. Some of you might kind of chuckle at this, but I don't care. Number 2 is D Antwoord with their new album Mount Ninja and Nice Time Kid. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird title. But yeah, D Antwoord's new album. Yes, I love D Antwoord, okay? I'm not afraid to admit it. I love D Antwoord. I have for almost a year now. I just think they make such fun as hell music. I just think their music's really fun. Sure, it gets ridiculous at times, and I understand why some people think they're stupid, but like I said, I just think their music is fun. It's weird, it's fun, it's experimental, and I even kind of consider them kind of like experimental hip hop. But I just love it. I love it. And I definitely need to pick this album up on either CD or vinyl, so yeah. And yeah, I just think this album is so fucking catchy, and a lot of the stuff on here is very funny. There's even a couple appearances, I believe, by Jack Black on this album, which I thought was awesome. But yeah, I just love this album, and then like I said, I've really liked D Antwoord for a while now. So yeah, go listen to it if you haven't. And number 1. Before I listened to this album earlier this year, I had heard a lot of people talking about it. And I mean a lot of people. Especially one man in particular that made me check out this album when he showed off in an update. And that was Count Blagrith. And I just heard so much hype and praise for this album. And when I finally checked out for myself, man, I'm just so glad I did. My number 1 non-metal album of the year is A$AP Rock with his new album, The Impossible Kid. Excuse me. Oh, this is incredible, incredible hip hop. Like, I'm gonna admit, I am pretty damn picky with hip hop. Okay? I am picky with hip hop. I'm not one of those people though that says like, oh, all hip hop it's just all about bitches and sex and drugs, blah blah blah, and they use those crappy like fucking beats that they made from a computer. No, I'm not one of those dumbasses that says that. But until this year, I rarely ever listened to hip hop. But after listening to this, I'm not joking, this actually made me want to check out more hip hop, especially hip hop artists that are, I guess you can say, not mainstream, just hip hop artists that don't have the recognition they deserve, which A$AP Rock is definitely one of them. I also recently checked out his album from 2012 before this, I believe it was called Skeleton. That album is fantastic as well, and I definitely need to check out more of his stuff. But yeah, what I love about A$AP Rock so much, I love his flow. I love like the certain type of attitude he has when he does his music, and I love his lyrics. His lyrics are so great. They could be about stuff that happened in his life or stuff that's going on in his life right now. About what he thinks about like today's society, like especially today's youth, especially in the one song. What was it called? I think it was in A Lot of Years. He said something about like, oh my god, how'd it go? Oh yeah, I bet you like ride a hoverboard to work while I use this juice box to find a map in the first or something like that. If you've heard the song, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, other great songs on here are Dorks, Blood Sandwich, Shrunk, Kirby, that song's really fucking catchy. Water Tower, Molecules, Mystery Fish. This is just fantastic hip hop, and I'm so glad I discovered this because this made me really explore more into hip hop, especially underground hip hop. And yeah. And I want to get this on vinyl so bad. So yeah. A$AP Rock with his album The Impossible Kid, my number one non-metal album of the year. Check this shit out if you haven't yet. So yeah, guys, that's my list for my favorite non-metal albums of the year. Later this week, I don't know what day, but later this week I will be doing my favorite metal albums of the year, and it's either going to be a top 25 or a top 30. It might be a top 35, possibly, but I think I'm most likely going to do like a top 30. So, yeah. And also, before I get into the list, I'll say like my favorite EPs and like my favorite split of the year. So yeah. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Tell me what you thought about my choices for my favorite non-metal albums of the year in the comments below. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you discovered at least something new in this video. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and thank you for liking my videos and subscribing. Guys, I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me, guys. And yeah, until then, I'll see you guys next time. And peace out.